young and do it like it's my job too. I rock what I want to, and y'all wear costumes. I'm faded from the J's, now I'm looking for my...
Baby, you got me, what more could I ask for? Beautiful life. Beautiful life. A beautiful life. Listen, I woke up this morning, y'all. The sun was shining oh so brightly. I thought about how good this life is. Back in the day, it wasn't always like this. I think about the things we done been through. I think about the place that I come from. It wasn't always easy, so every day I'm thanking God for the beautiful people everywhere I go. I just need to see your smiling faces at my show. And when you're feeling real love from the family, every day is a gift, y'all, that's all I need.
What a beautiful life.
All that I've got is all that I need. I got you, baby, you got me. What more could I ask for? Beautiful life.
Beautiful life. We got
Beautiful life.
I got
A beautiful life.
beautiful life.
Happiness, you know, it feels real good, y'all. For us to get it, then we gotta work hard, y'all. Every day. And don't pay attention to the things they say when they tell you that you can't make it, but you can if you try, y'all. When life is rough, I know sometimes you wanna cry, y'all. Just keep the faith and don't question. Ain't no need of stressing. Your life is still a blessing.
It's not about the cars, the money, or the clothes.
You can believe these things will only come and go, but when you're getting real love from everyone you meet, it's a blessing, y'all. It's magic, y'all.
What a beautiful life.
All that I've got is all that I need. I got you, baby, you got me. What more could I ask for? Beautiful life.
Beautiful life. We got
Beautiful life.
I got
A beautiful life.
beautiful life.
And now we all been blessed to be here, so it ain't no need for stress. We don't worry about the things that we can't control. We just pray and hope for the best. You don't need a whole lot of money. You don't need no fancy car. You ain't gotta be famous or a movie star. Just be happy with who you are. You got some food on the table and a place to live, and that's a beautiful life. You got somebody you can love, family and some kids, and that's a beautiful life. You got money in your pocket just to pay your bills, and that's a beautiful life. Just to make it through the struggle and you still be here. Now that's a beautiful life.
Okay, wind me up. DC, stand up. The Godfather, I got you. You spoiling me now. 6 years later, still the talk of the town. I put myself on, and then I put my team on too. Take home my BET. I spilled my drink on hold. Still I believe that, and I mean that. There will be no flow if you ain't sing that tune. We see police run joke. You put DC on first. I put us all on next, and now it's all on me to keep your name on deck. Okay, the Godfather. Gotta know that it's not a problem. Been in the pocket like hot tires of Saviata. Praying for a better manana. I hope I'm making you proud. I'ma rep you in honor. Irrefutable spirit. How your music get nearest. When I got that award, it felt like you got this shit with me. Ha. Life's good, still it's getting better. Still pray for Low and Benny. Tell KK hold her head up. A lot have done it, but not too many that done it better. Forget a record for all you done, you deserve a medal. A toast, a two for jump, EU for essence, for back, NG, UCB, TCB, hold DC, rest in peace, this for you.
All that I've got, all that I need, I got you, baby, you got me. What more could I ask for?
Yeah.
Beautiful life.
Greatest to ever do it.
A beautiful life.
The best to ever
A
do
beautiful
it.
life.
Amen.
Beautiful life.
As long as you live, just us two. Oh, I'm not trying to make you stay, baby. But I know somehow, someday, some way, yeah, you're gonna miss my love. You're gonna miss my love. You're gonna miss my love. Oh, when in the hour, baby, when it's cold outside, you're gonna miss my love. You'll never find another love like mine. Someone who needs you like I do. You'll never see what you found in me. You keep searching and searching your whole life through. Oh, I don't wish you no bad luck, baby. But there's no ifs or buts. Oh, baby, you're gonna miss my love. You're gonna miss my love. You're gonna miss my love. Oh, late in the midnight hour, baby, when it gets real cold outside, I know that you are gonna miss my love. You're gonna miss my love, baby. You're gonna miss my love. Oh, late in the midnight hour, baby, when I'm long gone, you're gonna miss my love. It don't mean a thing if it don't got to go swing. You go do-wop, 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 do-wop. We gonna do this one over, y'all. By a special request, y'all. You got that go swing. We're gonna do it for Sean and Vinny of Howard University. If any, Vinny and Sean known to body to dawn. They go do-wop, 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 do-wop. All right, thank you. I want to see the people, not signs. Yes, I get a groove when I look at you. Do-wop. Don't mean a thing, y'all, if it don't got to go swing. You go do-wop, 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 do-wop. Y'all want to sing it for me? Hit it. I can hit it up. Hey, show you right. Show you right. Show you right. You're out of sight.
I told you not to play with me. But you ain't listening.
You ain't gotta do this. Come on, Chuck.
I warned you, didn't I?
Chuck.
Look at me. I'm as helpless as a kitten up a tree. I feel like I'm clinging to a cloud. I can't understand. I get misty just holding your hand.
expecting me early, but okay, let me just tell you, I've had a day from hell. I locked my keys in my car at my other job. The job that I'm leaving in December, okay, is way pushed up. So, but I locked my keys in the trunk of my car, so I have nothing. I have no shoes, no nothing. So no shoe cam today. I'll make it up to you next week, people. You know I will. I have on some fierce I'll do 2 pair next week. I'll do 2 pairs of shoes next week. I don't have literally anything. My assistant had to double back, come back to work and get me. And I don't know what is going on downtown on 295 because we were in that traffic at 4:00. And lucky for her, she knows how to make her way around, because if it was me, I would have just been in tears just sitting on the side of the road somewhere, because she made a U-turn in the gravel. It was illegal, but hey, everybody was doing it. We came up South Capitol, and here we are. And she got us here in like 15 minutes. So I'm taking a breath, and I'm so glad that my guest Ann is here. She is the author of 2 wonderful books about the cherry blossoms here in DC. And if you are a native Washingtonian, you wait for the cherry blossoms to come. I had this whole bio thing set up and I had pictures, but see, she brought her books with her. So you can at least see the gorgeous books that she had. And I just want you to know, my ghost intern is here. She is here. She's in the studio with us. And I have an audience member today. Hello, audience member. So she has her cherry blossom books. And in 3 sentences, tell everyone about yourself.
Oh, well, I'm not a native Washingtonian, but I've been here since 1974.
Okay.
And I love everything about Washington. I was saying to the other audience member how much I treasure the city, and we both agree. Its diversity is really something that sets it apart from other cities.
Okay.
I have been working at various places like the Smithsonian and World Wildlife Fund, American Association of Museums, but now I'm a freelance writer and author. These are my 2 books, and then I'm working on a novel. So
what is your novel? Okay, is your novel going to be a fiction novel?
Yeah, it's going to be fiction, and it's set in France. So
I saw that it was in Renaissance France.
That's right.
So it's going to be a historical?
Yes, about actual people. King Francis I, who was the king when Henry VIII was king in England. So it'll be, damsels in distress and things like that.
Okay, well, of course, because, if you're in France, you have to be in distress. You have to be a damsel in distress. Right. You have to be.
Right.
So, okay, what made you write 2, not 1, but 2 novels on the cherry blossoms?
Well, the cherry blossoms, actually the first book, this one, was an assignment from the publisher.
Okay.
This one is the second from National Geographic.
This one was the first.
This one was the first.
See how turned around I am today, people?
It's okay. So what happened was the Smithsonian book buyer said, 1 million people come to Washington every spring. I don't have a book to sell to them. Would you, publisher, provide one? And the publisher asked me if I knew anyone who would do it. My hand went up. I knew nothing about the cherry blossoms. I mean, I knew they bloomed and they were trees. That's it. So that was in March of 2004. And by August 1st, I delivered the manuscript with the images, rights cleared, for the book to be produced. Because if I missed the deadline, that would be a whole nother year.
Right.
It's like having a Christmas book.
Okay.
So that began, I fell in love with them writing that book. And then every year I go when they're blooming and I sign books and I give talks. And I've learned something a lot every year and learn more and more. And then in 2012, it was going to be the centennial of the gift, so celebrating the gift of trees from Japan. And really, when I knew there was a book in the offering, I was like, oh, I've got to do it, Okay. So the second book is more about the festival and what it's like to be here when the trees are blooming now.
So what is something that, we all know that they only bloom during this, like real small period of time. And if the wind blows, they blow them all off. And if it rains, that's detrimental to them. Right. But that's like common knowledge, you know. What is it, tell us one thing about the cherry blossoms that we don't know.
Well, here was my biggest surprise, was learning that they have a primitive form of sight.
Wait a minute,
a primitive form of sight.
Like they can see?
Well, they don't have eyeballs, but what they do is they can sense where the sun is, and they won't bloom until it reaches a certain angle in the sky. And isn't that neat? I thought that was pretty neat too.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So that's why even when it's a warm winter, they don't bloom super early because the sun isn't at the proper angle. I'm not a scientist, so I don't quite get it, but it has to do with they bloom when certain proteins are produced, and that's driven by the angle of the sun. So one way to understand it is a form of sight. Isn't that neat?
See people. Not only are you going to learn about books and authors here, but you are learning about the cherry blossom. So next spring,
right.
Look at the sun's angle and just be like, you know what?
Right.
No, because Ann said they ain't blooming yet because, the protein is not right and the angle of the sun is not right yet.
Right.
Okay, so why is it that we got this gift? I'm sure you found that out, right?
Well, yes, I did, and it's the the official flower for Japan is the chrysanthemum because it's associated with the emperor.
Mm-hmm. But that was too hard to say. So they gave us cherry blossoms.
No, the common people feel that the cherry blossoms are theirs. And
Okay.
so, in fact, when you meet Japanese military people, instead of stars, they have cherry blossom shaped buttons and medals and things like that.
That's another tidbit.
Yeah.
That's another
absolutely.
good tidbit. Okay, kids, there'll be a test later.
Right. So what happened was the United States supported Japan in the resolution of the Russo-Japanese War of 1904 and 1905. And as a gesture of gratitude, the Japanese wanted to give the United States a gift. And but they didn't, it was awkward. They didn't want to do a whole big, national official thing. That could get to be a little too much. So they learned that Mrs. Taft wanted to plant cherry trees around the tidal basin, and they said, we can give trees to her. And so that's what they did. And so it was actually a gift from the city of Tokyo to the city of Washington in honor of Helen Taft.
And so how many trees are there? Like, did they give?
Right now?
Yeah, initially, when they gave the gift, how many trees were there?
There are 3,000. The actual story
There's 3,000 cherry blossom trees?
Well, there are more now, but 2,000 were shipped and arrived in 1910, and they had to be burned.
Okay.
So people have heard that story.
Okay.
And then 1912, 3,000 arrived, and those were planted all around the tidal basin. There are also a few around town. There's some near the Library of Congress and other parks.
Okay.
But they're getting very old, obviously. They're over 100 years old.
So now, do the trees repopulate themselves? Like, are people going and, taking, like, the dried seeds or whatever to keep seedlings or whatever they're called, saplings, so that if a tree, because they are getting old, when it dies, that they can replace it, or when they're gone, they're gone?
No, the Park Service and the Arboretum are working together to create their small trees, propagating them so that there will be replacement trees for always. And they do replant them. I'm sure when you go down to the tidal basin, you see these spindly little guys.
That's the cherry blossom tree.
Those are cherry blossom trees. Yeah.
Okay.
So they don't last all that long. I mean, there are a few left from the original gift, but just a few, because every time, here's a tidbit. Every time someone plucks a flower off the tree, it will never bloom there again, and it won't grow a twig.
So that's why they say do not pick the flowers off. Look at here, people, visitors, people of DC.
Keep your hands to yourself.
Keep your keep your hands to yourself, because if you pluck off one of them little blossoms, it will never get a blossom. Unlike a rose, you can't deadhead a tree and it's going to come back. It's not going to come back. It's not going to come back. So just keep your hands to yourself. Take as many pictures as you like. Take the selfies and the group photos, but leave the blossoms alone. You've been warned. Anne will be down there.
I'll be down there, right. Rap.
Okay, so tell us about your Renaissance novel. When are you almost done? Are you?
Well, I have a rough draft, and emphasis on rough, but I do have a draft, and as any writer knows, that's a huge step. It means the thing is existing. I'm probably a year and a half away from having a complete manuscript.
Okay.
What happened was I went to France several years ago and went to Chambord for the first time, which is that sort of, it's the chateau in the Loire Valley with all the turrets and things on the roof. Can you picture that? So I thought, who built this? Some people say Leonardo da Vinci had something to do with it. Anyway, there are F's all over it. F for Francois. And I thought, I want to know more about this guy.
Right.
So that's how I got started on it.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, inquiring minds want to know, are you going to go back to France, to do your research?
Yes. I'm leaving Sunday.
Get out of here. Are you? Really?
Yes, absolutely.
Wow. For how long?
A few weeks.
What? A few weeks? I was thinking, she's going to go for a week or two, but a few weeks. Okay, wait. Is this for research?
Absolutely.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, no, really. Actually, no, it's interesting. There's some things you just can't experience unless you're on the ground. Here's a good example. I have been to France to do research for this before, and what happened on that trip, I was in a chateau called Chantilly, and the moat is still there. In many of the chateaus, the moats have been drained, so they're grassy places. But at Chantilly, there's still water. And I was in this building that was built right at the time of the novel that I'm dealing with, and it was the afternoon, and I went into these rooms, and the sunlight off the water filled the room with light of the most beautiful sort, a flickering kind of quality that it was, I mean, compared to electricity, it was, you can't even imagine. It was really magical, just glittery and very extraordinary. And there's no way I could have known about that if I hadn't been there.
Right.
And that's how they lit that's how they lit their world.
Wow.
With the light coming into
Right.
the water and bouncing back into the.
See, you can't get that from Google. So
You
some
cannot
things
get
you
that from
cannot
Google.
Get, right.
Some
Some
things
things
you cannot
is
get.
not Googleable.
Right.
That was not that
That was-
experience was not Googleable.
Right, exactly.
So okay, so when is this? Are you now moving from cherry blossoms into fiction works, or do you see yourself doing more trees or studies or more novels for the Smithsonian?
I'm going to do both. I have a couple of ideas for other tree books, which unfortunately I don't have signed contracts, so I can't talk about them officially. But I like doing books that show people what's special about the natural world.
Okay.
How the cultural ramifications, what's beautiful, all the both the tidbits about the trees, but also what they mean to us. I mean, imagine the world without trees.
I know. You know what? Because I said that. It's so funny. I said that when I was in Vegas for my daughter's wedding, because they
Really?
don't really have a whole lot of trees,
Right.
or grass,
Right.
And I was like, this is kind of depressing when you think about it,
Right.
because I couldn't go anywhere for shade. They got cactuses everywhere,
Oh.
but you're not going to
Prickly.
find shade under there.
Right,
You're
yeah.
going to get stuck and lean up against it the wrong way.
Yeah.
But I remember saying to my daughter, how did you adjust to this? Because it's very different.
Right.
You have the trees, but you can tell that they were put there. They weren't grown there.
Right.
And then everything is brown. It's like a brown and a gray and a tan. And it's
Right.
like, you don't have those colors. I don't know how she did it. She was like, yeah, around the fall, I get a little depressed because there's not that color, the
Right.
color change. And,
Right.
I love to see the color change when the
Right.
trees start changing. So I don't even want to imagine what it would be like without trees in the world. Grass
Exactly.
I could do without because the allergies and all that. But the trees, no, because I like to sit under there, drink my wine. Today is one of those days that I be sitting outside drinking wine. I already got it planned. As soon as I can get my way home, yeah, I'm gonna be sitting under a tree or in the house looking at the trees, doing something. I'm gonna be having wine when I'm doing it.
There you go.
But so when you decided to make the jump from this into the Renaissance, was it hard? Was it like, okay, now I'm gonna write fiction? Was it hard to get your mind into a fiction frame of mind rather than horticultural and?
Yes and no. I mean, I found what I have to do is either set days aside. So, like one day I'm doing the nonfiction, the other day I'm
Okay.
doing the fiction, or it's mornings versus afternoons. It sort of depends on where the project is. Thinking especially of the nonfiction ones, but they feed off each other. Actually, I think really any idea that we have is fiction. We're all imagining things, so it's not really that different. And what I like about doing these kinds of illustrated nonfiction books is that they mean that I get to work with a lot of different people, whereas the novel it's just me by myself with my books, and that's or the typewriter, and I like people. I like being around it. So
Right.
it's
Yeah,
good,
because being an author, it is lonely.
It
Hence
is.
why I drink so much wine. But but
Right.
they do say that for authors, you're
Right.
normally behind your computer screen, and the
Right.
only time you get to see other people is if you're going out.
Right.
Meeting at different events, how we met.
Exactly.
So that is. They always say writing is a lonely,
Yeah, it's true.
hobby or
Or
job
business,
or
yeah, it is.
business. Well, here's the thing, and I am so sorry that
Not at all.
but I will be having you back because
Okay, I'd love
especially
to.
when you come back from France, I need to
Okay.
know, especially if you find someone down there. Just tell them that I have very cute shoes. And,
Okay.
I can come over and I'll tour in my really cute shoes.
Okay.
But don't they have cobblestone streets or something?
Well, in lots of places, yes.
Yeah, so I don't know how well my shoes will fare on that, but I buy wedges.
Okay,
I'll
you can buy
for
wedges,
that,
right.
Yeah.
Sounds
But
good.
I'm just apologizing because
not at all.
it was one of those days.
Yep.
And that's what I remember saying earlier today.
Yeah.
Let me hurry up and leave here before something else happens, and I walk outside and something else happens. So it was just one of those days.
I'm so
and
sorry.
I remember thinking, oh, I'll just have Eric, and Eric is the best board operator ever because he kept the music playing while I was trying to get here. I was like, well, maybe I'll just have Eric play something. Then I was like, oh, no, because Ann is in the studio, so I can't. And I didn't want you to feel. Where are you from? Are you from DC?
I'm originally from New Jersey, but I've been here since 1974.
Oh, you did
so I
say that
consider
earlier,
myself
yes.
a Washingtonian, really.
By default.
I
By
think
default,
so,
Yeah.
yeah.
So you're from Jersey. You
Right.
lived in Jersey, but you're from here.
Exactly.
So, see?
Exactly.
I
yeah.
bought something good out of it.
Right, you definitely did.
Yes, I did.
Well, thank you.
So thank you for staying.
Thank you.
Because most people are like, I'm out of here.
No,
She's
no.
late. I'm out of here.
These things
But thank you
happen.
for staying.
My pleasure.
And I am going to have you back. And
I'd love it.
My lovely assistant will be contacting you. We'll get
Okay.
the showtime right this time.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
So
Okay.
serious. So I am just going. I just need to say, after such a crazy day, I don't know if you all can see the picture. I don't even have time to unwrap these flowers. So yes, I do have a gorgeous display of flowers, and it says, what is it? Our yes commitment. So because what happened was I got a note. Here's the thing. I got an email that said, heard that the vase was broke. Another one will be there on Wednesday.
Oh, wow.
So
Okay.
yeah, so there it is. So I forget what the other one looked like, but that one is beautiful too.
Yes.
But I was gonna say I'm on my soapbox today, and no, it's not about this whole debacle of a day that I've had. This is about Facebook. Now I'm on Facebook, and I do a lot of different things on Facebook, and a lot of different things. I see a lot of different things on Facebook, and one of my friends got banned from Facebook, like banned, because he has, he posted some not sexually graphic things, but he had thought-provoking questions that you would be like, I wonder what this is about. I wonder what I would do in this situation or whatever. And he got banned for posting those type of things because someone found it offensive. Now, here's my thing to Facebook. Facebook, you allow videos of women being abused by men, children being abused by their parents, videos of all manners of foolishness, kids fighting on the subway, beheadings are on Facebook, sexual deviancy is on Facebook. But because someone asked a question about a sexual question, not graphic, but it was a sexual question, what would you do? You ban him. Okay, he's not banned for life, but he's banned for like 3 weeks to a month, something like that. Here's my question. If you're going to come down hard on someone for asking a question, then you need to come down hard for everybody sharing the videos of people getting beat up, of women being slapped around, of children being slapped around, of animals being brutalized. How about you ban those people? How about you take a stance and say, you know what? If I'm banning this person, I'm going to take a stand and ban all that is morally, quote unquote, wrong with Facebook, because the owners or the president or whoever you are running Facebook, this might cause me to get banned. But you know what? I really don't care, because if you are going to do that to one person or however many people you do it to, then why am I continuing to see in my feed things that I'm not even posting and I'm not even aware of coming up down my stream because it's quote unquote popular? How about you ban those people? How about you ban the people that figure, you know what, I'm gonna share this video of people fighting each other because that's entertainment? Well, what to me is entertainment is someone asking a thought-provoking question and getting thought-provoked answers. So Facebook, whoever is running it, whoever decided that they were going to be the moral police for my sexuality, please don't. I am well of control. I am in control of my own sexuality. I don't need you to do that for me. So if that causes me to be banned, so be it. I have a website. So on Facebook, I am Sandra B. Swangin Webster. Feel free to go and see whatever I post, but guarantee that there are other people out there that feel the same way. And I think it is time for America to take a stand, just like the sportscaster took the stand for the NFL and how he had brought it up about domestic violence years ago, and now the NFL wants to do something about it. How about you do something about it right now? So Facebook, I'm challenging you, me, B Swangin, my own show, WLVS Radio, Listen Vision Live. I'm in Fiji, I'm in Croatia, I'm in Saudi Arabia. So what? I am challenging you, Facebook, who is in America, to take a stand, not for people speaking their mind and asking questions, but to take a stand against people posting foolishness. Because all those videos that I see of foolishness, that's exactly what it is. Want to take a stand? Do that and ban those people. I'm off my soapbox. I am here, even though it was a condensed show. But thank you very much for listening. And I will be here on time next week, people, with 2 pairs of shoes. I will see you next week. Thank you for tuning in.